evening, everyone.
Good evening!
I'm a little bit nervous tonight, you can tell, because my grammar gets much more worse. We're talking about import. Like, before I start, guys, just everyone could do me a favour when they get home, look up a map of Europe, find Romania, because I'd really hate for someone to bomb Germany. We're talking about imports tonight. We were going to talk about exports, except that we sat around and we could only come up with 4 jokes about wool. So it's counted. Australia hasn't quite worked out the whole import-export thing. Like, we worked out if we sell stuff, that's good. But we haven't worked out that what we buy back actually needs to be cheaper than what we sold. And so to the rest of the world, we're just like a large retarded child holding a piggy bank. No, seriously, we export 10 tonnes of wool and we buy back 10 tonnes of Armani suits. We export 10 tonnes of iron ore and we buy back 10 tonnes of Toyota Land Cruiser. We export Hugh Jackman and we buy back 17 X-Men films. It's not clever. I think we'd be better off if we scrutinised all our importing arrangements the same way that we scrutinise all our immigrants. You know, we're not a big fan of the Asians, we're suspicious of them. We're very cautious of Eastern European people. I think we only hate Japanese whaling because we're pretty sure it's just an elaborate people smuggling scheme. I think people in Australia get accused of being racist too often. You know, they forget that we're also anti-religious and homophobic. We're so discriminatory we even hate rangers. Like,
That's not for you, Aaron.
I'm a pretty open-minded guy, but even I won't read Ginger Megs if it's printed in colour. And not to generalise, because generalisations I hate, but it's because all rangers everywhere are completely nuts. Like Van Gogh, right? Redhead, cut off his own ear.
Can't see her.
Lenin, redhead, not like Imagine There's No Heaven Lenin, like Russian Lenin, yeah? Actually tried to take over the world at one point. They didn't call it the Red Scare for nothing. Now, I don't think we hate Julia Gillard because of her leadership skills. No, we hate her. But this is the reason. It's because she looks like Tony Abbott would if he went to a costume party dressed as Pauline Hanson. It amazes me that anyone could prefer Abbott to Gillard. It amazes me. Because Abbott's the devil. And like, I can't believe we'd pick a satanic overlord over a well-meaning carrot top. It's like cheering on Voldemort to spite Ron Weasley. I was funny and then I lost my place. It's a weird thing. And what's even worse is that we dislike immigrants and rangers. We're a nation founded by Irish convicts. That's the pot calling the kettle Fanta pants. One of the things about immigration that we don't realise is that immigration works the same way everywhere. Like, I moved to London a couple of years ago, along with about another 40,000 Australians that week. And over there, guys, we are the immigrants, it's true. Like, we've got no good reason to leave our homes except that we don't have clocks with names. We take their jobs, although admittedly that's because we go looking for them instead of sitting around moaning. You know, like in Coles, there's the special aisle with like the noodles and the soy sauce and wasabi and stuff. Yeah, in London, that's just got caramello koalas and twisties. We don't even speak the language. They have this thing called English there. It's pretty complex. It's like Australian, except that an icy pole is called a lolly, and a lolly is called a sweetie. And in Australian, you can say things without sounding like a wanker. It's a crazy place. Brits are very racist towards Australians, it's true. Like, they make fun of our accent. They think we all look the same. You know, they think that every Australian ever has been on Neighbours at some point. They tell racist jokes about Australians. Like this one, someone actually told me. They thought they were sharing. They said, what's the difference between Australia and a pot of yoghurt? Put a pot of yoghurt in the sun for 200 years, it'll develop some culture. Yeah, well, at least we know what the sun looks like. There's a reason they chose an English actor to play the vampire in Twilight. It's because they didn't have to spend much on makeup. The dude's translucent. Brits don't show much emotion either, which I find challenging. Like, they've got one face for everything. It's like an entire nation fathered by Keanu Reeves. It's just this. This is all they've got. Hello, I won the lottery today. Oh, my wife just died. That's it. Like it's frustrating. Smile, laugh, go to a dentist. I don't care. Just do something that makes it not look like you're trying to create a diamond by placing coal in your rectum. Just do that. The British are quite challenged by Australians in that regard, because we're quite passionate people. We're quite out there, you know. Like, if somebody yells Aussie, 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 I don't care if you're performing brain surgery. You put the scalpel down and you say oi, oi, oi. Right? That wouldn't work for the British people. They could try, but it would sound like this. It has come to my attention that I feel quite passionate about my mother country. So, after months of consulting with committees, I have concluded that the ideal way to express said emotion is through a rhythmic chant. Hence, I shall proclaim England thrice, after which you shall join me in a chorus of yay, yay, yay. Can you please raise your hand if you wish to participate? It wouldn't work. In London, it's pretty easy to spot an Aussie. We stand out like Bob Catter at a gay pride parade. It's insane. Spot an Aussie on the tube, look for the person who's not wishing instantaneous death on everyone else. The first time I smiled at someone on the tube, they called the police. The second time, they asked if I was from Perth or Melbourne. Australians tend to live together in London, in a place called Shepherd's Bush, generally. Nothing special about Shepherd's Bush. It's just that it's where Australians know how to get to, and the Brits are too snobby to stop and give you directions anywhere. And I didn't want to live there, but I found this amazing ad in the local Australian paper. By the way, how much do I love that the Australian paper in London is called TNT? It's like having an Australian weather forecast called Thunderstruck. It's just brilliant. Anyway, so this advertisement reads: accommodation in Australian household, £20 a week, free bread. Now, £20 a week is pretty bloody cheap, and who doesn't love carbs? So, I thought I'd check it out. Anyway, I rock up, and I walk down the driveway and hear this like faint You're the Voice playing in the background. And I'm feeling pretty good about things, right? And so I walk up and I get to the front door. There's like 20 pairs of double pluggers lined up. And the recycling's out, and it's just full of tins of Tui's New and the plastic trays you get from Tim Tams, right? I'm pretty bloody excited. And we get inside, and I introduce myself, and the first thing the guy says to me is, "You like bread?" "Mate, we got plenty of bread here. And if we run out, you tell us, mate, we'll get onto that quick smart." How helpful are Australians? Like, that's awesome. And so I got pretty excited. And so they started showing me around the place, you know, pointing out all the places they keep the bread. And there's just Australians popping up everywhere. There must have been like 50 Australians. You couldn't step without stepping on an Australian. And they're all doing Australian things. It was amazing. Like, there were two guys over here talking about the footy. Brilliant. And then over here there was a guy making Vegemite sandwiches for everyone. And there was another guy giving a guy a Southern Cross tattoo, and there was a dude shearing a sheep on the coffee table. And it was like walking through the set of a VB commercial. It was incredible. And so then they took me up to the room. And it wasn't so much as a room as a shrine to Australian ingenuity, right? It's like these guys had sat down and thought, how can we include as many people as possible in this dream home experience? So I wasn't purchasing a room so much. There was a room, and it had a queen bed in it, and there was a couple of mattresses on the floor, which is a good start. But here's where it gets really exciting. They placed plastic dividers in the queen bed I was being offered a third of a bed. And not only that, it was the middle third. And the guy looked at me and he went, "What do you reckon?" And I went, that's something." And he went, "Oh, you should see where I sleep then." Now, I'd probably seen enough, and I wasn't that excited about sharing a doona with Davo and Stevie, but I thought I'd better go and have a look because I'm intrigued, and also it did occur to me that this guy might have been providing the free bread by selling the organs of unsuspecting home hunters. So he takes me upstairs, and you know those closets which have like the 3 cupboards at the top, and there's right. This guy, all 6 foot, 100 kilos of him, was sleeping across the 3 cupboards at the top, with nothing but a ladder to get up there, an Australian flag doona, and a pillow made from an inflated goon bag. £5 a week, free bread. Now, I didn't take the place. You know, £20 a week, brilliant. I like bread. I didn't even mind sharing with the boys, you know, because Stevie seemed like a good guy, and I'm pretty sure Davo was on Neighbours once. But I decided not to. And this was the thing that I could not abide. On the wall of the room, above the bed, was a massive poster of Garfield. There is no way I'm sharing a room with a Rainer. Thank you very much. I've been Dylan James. You've been great. Have a fantastic night.